into a lot of credit card debt because I got into a situation.
How long are you married?
Almost 5 years.
And you got with this person.
I thought we were going to be together, we were going to be in love. That wasn't the case because he was married. Technically, I was married too.
You and the married guy, banging it up. You were,
Yeah, of course.
and he was married.
Yes.
That's homewrecker behavior.
Technically.
I just found my absolute newest favorite YouTube channel and I wanted to share it with you guys. Introducing a show called Financial Audit with Caleb Hammer. The purpose of the show is to bring up real people, real couples, and have an in-depth discussion or conversation about their finances, all in an effort to improve their financial knowledge, which will hopefully improve their financial future. The newest episode of Financial Audit is absolutely insane and details a young woman by the name of Daphne who got into credit card debt after she got a divorce and moved into an apartment that she could not afford. See, she thought her new boyfriend, which was her work boyfriend, which they started to date a day after the divorce, would eventually move in and help pay the rent. Oh, but wait, he was actually married. But let's give this homewrecker the opportunity to explain her situation. Without further ado,
I'm Daphne. I'm 34. I'm from Huntsville, Texas, and this is Financial Audit.
Welcome over to Austin. Don't know where Huntsville is, but what do you do for a living?
So right now, I'm what they call a distribution designer at an electric company.
Okay.
So basically, I just design new construction power lines in like an AutoCAD type software.
All right. How much are we making?
So I make $31.74 an hour.
Okay, that's
It's pretty good.
okay,
yeah.
And
So,
If she's working 40 hours per week, that'll come out to about $60,000 per year.
I'm
saw
about to get
pay.
a raise. Oops.
Well, okay, yeah. Oh, you're gonna get a raise to what?
It's like $33.58 or something like
very
that.
nice. So I see 3,817 comes in.
That sounds right.
Is it about to be like 4,000 after the raise? Where's
I
it
haven't
gonna
done the
jump
math.
to?
I haven't done the math, but maybe.
Okay. So, what are we looking at today? We got some weird and interesting debt. You make okay amount of money, so it's like a little confusing. I think we're gonna need a little context.
Okay.
What are we looking at?
So I'm kind of a mess.
Okay.
Okay. So it all started 2 years ago. I got divorced,
Okay.
and
32.
when I left my husband, I was only making like $16 an hour.
Mm.
And so that wasn't enough. And so I got myself into a lot of credit card debt because I moved into an apartment that I couldn't really afford, but I thought that someone else was going to be living with me in it. So that's
What do you
happened.
mean? The ex?
No. Okay, so right after I got divorced, I got into a situation with somebody I knew from work. And,
How quickly after the divorce?
well, like immediately. It was like a rebound, right? I guess is what they would call it.
No, that's not what they would call it. In fact, I think that they would call it, this is the person who you had your eye on while you were married, talking to your husband as if this is your work husband. Meanwhile, you were fantasizing about getting stuffed by him. You divorced your husband and went into credit card debt because you expected the man, your work husband, to live with you? Absurd, man.
Okay.
And we
Like
worked
the
together.
day after?
Maybe. Like sort of, yes.
Okay.
So I knew him, right? We worked together. That's how we met.
Wait,
and-
how long are you married?
Almost 5 years.
Did you guys ever have any kids?
Yes.
And you got with this person a
Right
day
after.
after?
Oh,
Yes, but see what I thought he was like the love of my life.
what?
A day after a divorce. Okay.
Yes.
Sure. And you thought he'd be living with you?
Yes. Like I thought we were going to be together. We were going to be in love. But then that wasn't the case because he was married.
Oh.
Which I know it sounds terrible, right?
That sounds
But I
terrible.
It is
thought he
terrible.
was just like the love of my life, and we met under these unusual circumstances, which technically, like, I was married
What?
too, right? Like, so
Wait a Okay. No, sorry. Go on. Go on. I'm processing.
From the time I moved out of my house to the time my divorce was finalized was probably like 6 months, maybe a little longer. So like technically I was married.
When
right?
So like the day after you were like, hey, I'm divorcing you. Is that how that went?
My ex-husband.
Yeah.
Well, we had like a conversation.
And we were
where-
like, okay, so it's ending in a divorce. We understand. Then
Yes.
the next day, you were with that dude.
Well, no, I mean that. No.
No, of course not. She was with the dude, cheating on her husband with this guy prior to the divorce. Women like this, especially at 32 years old, are not going to hop out of a marriage with no other options in sight. By the way, it is wild to me how she is affably explaining her demon-like serpent woman ways with a smile on her face. You swore before God how you gonna be married for the rest of your life. And then you fell in love with another man while you were married? While the other man was married? You cannot make this shit up.
But very soon after, yes.
But he was married?
Yes, so I was under the impression that he was the same kind of married that I was, which
The
like,
same kind. What kind of married is that?
which is like,
That's insane.
no, hear me out. So like,
Okay. No, I'm hearing you out. It just doesn't really vibe with my personal morals on that.
right?
But
No.
go for it. Go.
So
Like,
like,
you say your thing. We're trying to get context for how you ended up here. So go ahead. Go ahead.
legally married, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, was not divorced yet, but we were not living together.
Yeah, but you also met up with the dude the day after, and he was married as well.
Not the day after. That makes.
Yeah, we're working together.
Right. So,
Oh my
anyways,
God.
he had me under the impression that they were getting divorced, but they owned a home together. They owned vehicles together, so it was like a longer process, right?
But yeah, you
So-
guys had a kid.
Yeah, but we didn't have any like finances together, so it wasn't hard.
Okay.
Right. So he was like, I'm leaving. Like they're not together anymore, right? They're just in this process of getting divorced. That was my understanding. Turned out that wasn't the case at all. And I found that out several months
How long are you
later.
guys together?
Me and the guy?
Sorry, I know this isn't like straight finances right here. We're trying to give context for the finances, but I do have to be a little honest that I am quite interested in this.
That's fine.
So I will give it at least a couple more minutes.
This is messy.
We were together maybe 6 months?
You and the married guy
Yeah, married.
banging
That's
it
what
up.
I thought.
Banging it up.
Well,
You were
well, yeah, of course.
and he was married.
yes.
That's homewrecker behavior.
Technically,
Yeah.
that is true. It's
Yeah.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
They're still together.
Wait a minute, and you signed a lease expecting him.
They're still together, so it is fine. Oh, of course, that's why she's able to just describe everything so nonchalantly. It's also so interesting how she's describing them as together. Ma'am, he was never together with you. Yeah, he ain't shit for cheating on his wife, but he was just stuffing your viscous innards. That's it. You were nothing more than a warm hole for this guy. You should be beyond embarrassed of yourself. But this is all related to her finances. Why? And I tell you guys this often. Women with messy finances, women with messy homes, their cars are messy. Women who don't know order within their life, they often carry that over into relationships. It's a clumsy thinking, and when you mix it with these emotional Disney-like thinkers who romanticize happily ever after, you can get a witch's brew of bull. So stay
To
vigilant.
live with you? Yeah, they're still together. Does she know?
Oh, yeah.
She didn't know during
Are
the
they
time.
open?
No.
Right.
Future wife, please don't cheat on me.
Oh my God.
I-
That was so funny.
That's okay.
That's sad.
Yeah, so she found out about me. And I was kind of like,
Oh, she found out. Okay.
yes. It was the whole thing.
Yeah, let me loop this back to finances. So you signed a lease expecting to live with him because you thought he was the love of your life?
Well, like
a married man
Right.
that you
Okay,
met?
wait.
Delusion.
When you say it like that, it sounds bad.
But that's the truth.
But, and it-
Girl,
and-
I'm going off what you're saying.
Right.
No, and what I'm saying is that right now, right, of course, now I see your
No.
perspective.
I'm
But
just saying,
at the
did you get
time-
the apartment expecting to live with him?
Eventually, yeah. I thought
What was
he
eventually?
would move in. I don't know, within like a few months. There was something that was happening that he was waiting. You know, there was like,
Look at
Yeah, maybe he had a wife.
yeah. So,
You were just guts.
yeah. So I couldn't really afford it, but it was also the cheapest place I could find. So I don't really know what I could have done differently.
Should have got divorced. Should have saved your
It does
marriage.
sound crazy.
So
I
that's
will
how you
agree.
started getting into debt?
Yeah. So when I got divorced, I didn't have any credit card debt at all. I had credit cards, but
Sure.
no balances on them.
Yeah.
But I did have all this student loan debt. That's been there. So
Okay.
yeah. So I ended up in the credit card debt because I didn't make enough money to live my life, but I had to.
Well, you signed
right?
up for a life for two
Yeah.
with this like dream that didn't exist.
Yeah. It's so sad.
It was kind of. It feels like was it like a fantasy. In
Of
your
course,
head?
it was a fantasy.
No,
Why did you think he was gonna move in and take care of half the payment?
because that's what he was telling me.
Okay,
Like
so
he was like,
leaving you.
"I'm gonna marry you. You're the love of my life."
they have
I wish
kids?
I'd yes, teenager.
This is gross. Okay.
It is gross. But
is
they're-
it?
They're so happy.
You
and
you
stuff.
think so? Okay.
It is. I mean,
Um,
it's embarrassing, right? But it's also like a part of my life. It happened.
It happened. Mistakes were made. I'm just bigger, better, faster, stronger because I've made these mistakes. Oh, the learnings, the learnings. I've ruined this guy's life. He's in a dark cave somewhere in a bathtub filled with warm